I think love has been a central theme in literature since time immemorial. Man-woman relationship has always formed the central theme of many great epics and stories or novels or poems. For instance, Iliad is about Paris' love for Helen and what led what all this led to. Or in many, even in Virgil's Aeneid, it's the unrequited love of Queen Dido for Aeneas that forms a very important part of the epic. And particularly in the Middle Ages in Europe, you had something called troubadour literature, which romanticized man-woman relationship and made love the central theme of many poems composed by bards, traveling, wandering minstrels. So that perhaps romanticized love in a way it had never been romanticized in earlier literature, because you have many Greek tragedies or Roman texts, but it's particularly in the Middle Ages that the troubadour tradition made love a very important theme in literature. Shakespeare's romantic comedies, which actually celebrated young love. So love has been, in European literature, ever since the troubadour started writing about women in a romantic fashion, formed a very important theme in literature. But at the same time, betrayal, the opposite of love, disillusionment, and sense of unfulfilled, the preoccupation with unfulfilled, unrequited love, jealousy, these also became extremely important themes, the allied aspects of the experience of love. So we are talking about European tradition, but at the same, we can also talk of the Asian and Indian traditions, and there also we will find love forming a very important theme in literature from very early times. Given modern man's experience of disillusionment, disenchantment, and his confrontation with or encounter with a highly mechanized industrial civilization or society, of course the attitudes towards the experience of love or the emotions of love would be very complicated. So particularly the modernists like Joyce, T.S. Eliot, Yeats, their attitude towards love is many-layered and full of irony in most cases. For instance, Yeats is predominantly a poet of love. Many of his famous poems are about unrequited love, the love for Maud Gonne. And in Eliot, you find a very different attitude towards love. T.S. Eliot talking about comparing love with the shirt that Nessus gave to Hercules, and the shirt was full of poison, and therefore it stuck to his skin and he died. He killed himself by throwing himself into fire.